Welcome to Week and Geek, your new comics preview for March 12th. I'm Mike Ortiz.
And I'm the Chris Brown.
So what do you got?
I'm going to lead off here with a book I've been enjoying quite a bit from Marvel. This is part of their all-new Marvel Now relaunch. This is Black Widow number 4. I feel like each of these issues thus far have been little one-shots, just missions that the Black Widow is on. She essentially is trying to atone for the things she's done in the past, so now she's taking these little missions that, yes, do result in profit, but she's trying to do something altruistic with the money. So it's just like these little missions and things she's going on. The previous issue was kind of cool. She helped someone escape out of prison that was in prison for a crime they didn't commit. But by the time she gets them out of prison, well, then she realizes, well, wait a minute. There was a bunch of crimes this guy did commit. They just didn't get him for those, and I didn't realize who this guy was. And, S.H.I.E.L.D. comes and scoops her up. So I don't know if this is now going to be her, on a little mission for S.H.I.E.L.D. or not. But it looks like maybe another mission with her lawyer. And her lawyer's up to some stuff, too, which was kind of neat. I mean, he's not as squeaky clean as you might think. But, yeah, he's a lawyer, so there you go.
Who thinks a lawyer is squeaky clean?
Yeah, I don't know, but that brings us to my next book written by a lawyer. That wasn't on purpose.
Wow.
I've got Superman Wonder Woman by Charles Soule. I've got something by him in my stack every week. Mm-hmm. Where this particular week just happens to be just the one. Superman Wonder Woman's been a great title. This is, I really like this. This is Superman kind of dealing with Zod and Faora and Wonder Woman. And I think they're doing a great job here. So many people were worried about that this was going to focus on the relationship between Superman and Wonder Woman. Yeah, they're in a relationship, but it's just kind of the two of them running around. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like how she sort of views him and her perspective on the things that he does and why he does them, his perspective on her. And again, fighting Zod essentially for the first time. This has been really kind of neat. At first he thought, wait, this is one of my people. And then they get in this epic battle and they're like, you know what? We just got to let them go, and we'll come back at this another day. So this, it's issue 6. This should be the end of the story arc, I would think. That's usually how these things work, is it not? Looks like some form of an ending of the storyline.
We've had a Superman-Batman or Batman-Superman book for, 10, 15 years now.
Yes.
I think it's fair that Wonder Woman gets a shot at the team-up book.
I completely agree, because when it comes right down to it... and I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but everyone always talks about the big 3 at DC. Well, it's not the big 3. It should be the Super Friends, to be honest. That's what people want. Quite frankly, DC wants it to be the big 3, and there haven't been enough people that really cared about Wonder Woman in a long time.
Not really.
You have to write her well. That's just like any character. Well, Batman doesn't have to be written well, and people still read it, but I'm just being biased and putting in little editorials in there. But, that's what it boils down to. It has to be written well, and I feel like this is written so well, and he's really got a handle on what he's trying to tell. And he makes Wonder Woman an interesting character, and it's a good book, one of the best Wonder Woman books I've read in a long time.
Cool.
Next up, this one just sort of hits a sweet spot for me because I
knew this was going to be in your stack.
You've got the old Valiant stuff, and then even going back farther, Dynamite is putting a Gold Key line together. They're going to be doing the Solar and Turok and Magnus. This is Magnus Robot Fighter number 1 from Dynamite. This is written by Fred Van Lente. I've enjoyed a lot of his stuff. Mm-hmm. Magnus Robot Fighter's always been a cool character. It's a future where robots have taken over, and you've got, this young kid Magnus has been raised to fight the robots, and it's a simple story. That's it, but it's always however the writers decide to craft it. Over at Valiant there, it was great because they had essentially made him a part of their big Unity event where he was the child of people in our present that was sent to the future because you had to keep the timeline right. Okay. And it worked. Well, how are they going to make Magnus work when you don't have that? Is it just going to be him beating up robots? That's okay. As long as they characterize him well and build him well, and Fred Van Lente is a good writer that way. And I like this art. I think this art looks pretty good.
Cool.
Kind of, looks pretty neat. I thought Turok was okay. So now I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Magnus. Solar was always kind of my favorite because it's that whole atomic age sort of thing that I like.
I'm sure he's coming.
Yeah, no, he's on his way. Yeah. He's on his way. So I'm getting excited about that, and I'm excited about that Magnus. Next up, we've got Sons of Anarchy number 7. So this does look like it's been turned into an ongoing story here. Yeah. So we got out of that 6-issue arc, which was mostly focused on what was it, the girl that was the daughter of Kozik, and then she needed Tig to kind of help her out, and there was basically, it was just all the things. I mean, there was the adult film industry, there were some other weird things going on that are all a part of Sons of Anarchy anyway, and it fit in very good. I really kind of dug it. I think the art here looks great. Just cool stuff. Kind of neat. It'll fill that void for you while you're waiting for that last season. Next, I've got, this is a book from Boom Studios. This is Revelations by Paul Jenkins and Humberto Ramos. This is, someone trying to solve a murder mystery with a future pope, essentially. A murder happens at the Vatican, and our character, who is a detective who was childhood friends with someone who is currently a cardinal, he's been brought in to figure this out. This sort of painted artwork looks good, kind of digital painting, but it's no inks, just straight over pencils. It's freaking gorgeous. As we've said before, this was previously something Dark Horse had done, and then now Boom has gotten the rights and they're reprinting it.
Nice.
But I imagine they're maybe just reprinting it so they can put out a nice hardcover or something. Cool stuff. I remember it when it came out from Dark Horse, but I never remembered finishing it. Mm-hmm. So now I get to finish it, and I'm liking that. Here's a book from Boom Studios, another one here. I don't know anything about this other than the artist is Andrea Moody, or I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm always butchering names. But I really like the art. I don't know who Jason Starr is. I can't think of anything else I've read by him. It's a book called The Returning. This is a 4-issue miniseries by Boom. It seems to fall in line with so many of the other things I'm reading. It's a woman in a coma, so all right, is a little bit revival, is a little bit Mind the Gap. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Looks like there's some monsters in here as we got farther along. So I don't know what's happening. Yeah, that looks kind of crazy. I don't know what's up, but it looked interesting, and I really like Andrew Moody's artwork. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a try. It's something different. Boom is trying to do some things. They're trying to introduce some cool titles, and I've been liking what they're doing. Next up, I've got now we're getting into the real meat and potatoes, the stuff I've been excited about this week. And in fact, these next 2 books are the only 2 books I've read this morning. I had to read those right away. I don't want to spoil anything for you if you haven't read Invincible 108, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil some stuff because you should have already read Invincible 108. They've been building this story with Robot and Monster Girl, and they had been, kind of trapped in this dimension, which wasn't very long in terms of our world, but you come and find out that they had been there for hundreds of years, and Robot became some kind of a dictator. He, just took over everything and was a little bit crazy. Him and Monster Girl sort of had a falling out. They're trying to fix that. All right, he's realized the things that he did was wrong. No, he didn't. He's realizing that he did it the wrong way, and he could fix everything. Much like every great villain, they think what they're doing is right.
Right.
So in order to try and go after, what's his name? I'm totally drawing a blank on the guy with the big head.
Angstrom Levy.
Angstrom Levy. They go in to figure out what's going on with him because he was trying to take out the other guys from other dimensions. There was the Emperor Invincible. While they go over there to take care of it, Robot kills everyone and leaves Mark there. Hey, good luck. So Mark is now trapped in this dimension, has murdered the emperor of the Viltrumite Empire, who was himself. He didn't do it. Robot did it. Here he is. He's stuck here. And then it's kind of that, oh, crap, what are they going to do? Tell you what, this issue's nice. It's nice. It's a really nice way to do it, and he has just done something beautiful where I really hope he doesn't just let the other dimension go. I want to see what's going on over there. I know we've got a new direction coming in 2 issues. That 111 is supposed to be huge. 111, all kinds of fresh new start. They're saying, but they've been saying that every time they do some big event. But I feel like you can come out of this and do something crazy. I feel like you could just with 111, you could just go into the other dimension and follow the adventures of Mark over there and what he's doing. And,
interesting.
And I'm being careful not to give anything away because this issue was really fun and nice. Kind of like a little one-shot, but I dug it, and I'm curious to see where this is all going. Now, okay, this one came out, so everyone was expecting this to be in my stack. Walking Dead 123. Holy shit, I can't really say anything, but the ending. On the one hand, you want to go, but, and on the other, yeah, but this has happened before. So maybe now is the time when it doesn't work out so well. And I'm a little nervous with this issue, and I think something dramatic might have just happened, because Kirkman does like to say, fresh new start, fresh new start. This really could be. This could finally be the opportunity where they could separate everything from the TV show in this and do something totally different. I was not really expecting this, and there's a part of me that doesn't want them to do what I think just happened. There's another part of me that wishes screw it, do it. Just do it. So yeah, good issue of Walking Dead. I don't want to say too much there, but
Cool.
Wow, good stuff.
Well, I'm going to start off with The Star Wars. This is number 6. Talked about this many times. This is the original screenplay that Lucas wrote back in like 1974, 1975.
Yep.
A lot of the names are the same. A lot of the places are the same, but there's a lot that's different. But there's a lot of familiar things in this. They were on the run from the Empire, from a dude who kind of looks like Darth Vader, but he's not Darth Vader because there's a different dude named Darth Vader who doesn't really play the role of Darth Vader.
Interesting.
So yeah, there's a lot of names that are flip-flop. Like actually in here, there is Owen Lars is in this book. No relation to Luke.
Oh.
He actually lives on the planet with the Wookiees.
Okay.
Which is actually a combination of the Wookiee planet Kashyyyk and Endor. So these Wookiees...
Endor was an afterthought.
Endor was originally...
Anyway, yeah.
Originally... So this is the original idea. The Wookiees are actually a lot more like Ewoks, but gigantic.
All right.
So yeah, we're getting a lot of those ideas. It's interesting to see where these different ideas kind of wound up in different places in the Star Wars saga. But overall, it's been very, very cool. A very interesting kind of historical document. You definitely can see that this would have been really unfilmable.
Okay.
I mean, it's actually kind of a bigger scale than, for one story. It's actually much bigger than the story that was told in Star Wars. And it encompasses a lot of the elements that go through the whole trilogy. Interesting stuff historically. You can definitely see some of Lucas's early writing is not that great, and they've adapted it very faithfully, including some horrible dialogue, but some gorgeous art by Mike Mayhew. Next up, Superior Spider-Man number 29. We're chugging away towards the return of Peter Parker. We've got Spider-Man 2099 in here. We've got the Goblin. This is Goblin Nation. The Green Goblin and all of his goblins are going after Otto. The Goblin knows that it's not Peter. He's able to tell it's Otto, and he wants to basically show Otto that he can beat him, whether he's a hero or a villain.
All right.
But there's some dissension in the ranks of the goblins. So there's some betrayal going on. Really good stuff. Yeah, I mean, villains should never team up because they always screw each other over in the end. But overall, this has been some good stuff. I'm really curious as to what's going to happen here. I mean, obviously we know Peter's going to come back,
right?
But what's going to happen to Octopus? I mean, his body doesn't exist anymore. Right. We've got Spider Slayers in here. We've basically this is the conclusion to everything that Slott's been building towards since Amazing Spider-Man.
I'm still not convinced that Ock is Ock, though.
We'll see. Peter's still in there. That would be a twist. So yeah, it's entirely possible. Next up, I've been dropping a bunch of books lately.
Okay.
And in that place, trying some other stuff. Things like Ms. Marvel. Moon Knight, things like that. So I'm going to try Captain Marvel number 1. This is a reboot. The book had been around, but they're relaunching it with a number 1 for all new Marvel now.
It was originally solicited as a 6-issue miniseries, so I don't know what's the deal here. Yeah, I went back and looked in the Diamond catalog, and it says 1 of 6.
Interesting. Does it say
doesn't say that on there.
It doesn't say it on here. They may have changed. Maybe the orders were good enough. I know that was one of the things. There was a lot of buzz around this book. It's a female character.
Right.
Female character that's been around for a while.
Yeah, well, in the previous book, it's the same, writer, so...
But it got a lot of buzz, but I think they were kind of looking for a way to kind of boost the sales, give people a chance to... People who have heard the buzz but didn't want to pick it up on issue 5 or 6 or 8. Basically, people like me. It's like, I heard about this, but okay, a number 1 gives you an excuse. So it works. And it worked on me. If this was Ms. Marvel number 8 with a brand new direction, it wouldn't be in the stack. But hey, you put a number 1 on the front, I'll give it a shot. And so far, about 50-50 in all the new Marvel stuff I've been trying. So we'll see. We'll give it a shot. If it was a heavy week, if I had 10 books or 12 books, it wouldn't be in there. Next up, All New X-Men number 24. This is continuing the trial of Jean Grey. It's part 5 of 6, so we're getting to the end here. Looks like we've got some more stuff with the trial and some fighting.
Cool.
Because you can't have a superhero trial without ending with a fight.
Right.
And it looks like we got Starjammers versus X-Men.
And I've always liked what's his name with the mohawk anyway. So.
Yeah, Gladiator, Imperial Guard
yeah.
versus the X-Men. Really, that was the fight the first time there was a Trial of the Phoenix. Oh wow. Sorry, something happens.
See, that's what happens when you start poking around. Like, oh wait, what?
So I'm not going to spoil that. That's kind of interesting. We'll see how this plays out. But again, this has been a great book. Bendis with Immonen on the artwork. Yep. Fantastic stuff. Really, really been enjoying what they've been doing in that book. Next up, we've got Batman number 29. This is the 0 Hour issue that was bumped for the Batman Eternal. I'm fine with that. The Batman Eternal issue was all right. I don't know if I'm going to get Eternal or not, but we're getting back to our Riddler storyline. This is basically Batman when he's starting out, slightly different costume. He's new to Gotham, and this is his first battle with the Riddler.
Okay, cool.
But so far, this was good. There's been a good storyline overall. You had the Joker, kind of the proto Joker, the Red Hood, at the first part. Second half of the storyline is clearly the Riddler. So we're getting kind of the building of the Batman universe. Gordon's in here and all that stuff. It's not quite the same as Batman Year One. Because Batman Year was 4 issues long. Right. This is a year. But still been good stuff by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Next, Green Lantern Corps number 29. This is continuing the Green Lanterns versus the Durlans.
Okay.
There's that one Durlan Green Lantern who was kind of stranded out on a planet, and both the Green Lanterns and the Durlans are both trying to get him to their side. So how they do that, we don't quite know. This Lantern wants to be left alone by both.
Okay.
Because that's usually the case. When you got two people that want you, you don't want anything to do with either of them. They both basically seem to feel whoever gets this one guy is going to be the one who wins. We'll see. But overall, been a really good book. Van Jensen, Bernard Chang. I've been enjoying the direction of the Green Lantern books ever since they kind of got that new start a little while ago. This one's no different. That's my stack.
Right on. Well, I guess that brings me to the top of my stack. Here's one that I'm looking forward to here. This is Tales of Mr. Reed by Devil's Due Publishing. This is written by Dirk Manning, art by Josh Ross. It was originally an online webcomic. Mm-hmm. And Dirk was doing it for, there was kind of a network that was supposed to be coming up, like an all-horror thing, and they kind of wanted some content for their website. Never really worked out, but Dirk had Mr. Reed. He still worked on it, and he created this character for this, and he really enjoyed the character, and he just kept writing stories. And they got the Kickstarter to get the thing published. There was a hardcover available for if you Kickstarted it. Both of them have covers by Riley Rossmo. This, I guess, Mr. Reed, of course, sort of, he's one of the guys that chases the things that go bump in the night. Of course, there's a Cthulhu monster. Imagine that. And it's, it is Dirk after all. He writes some great horror stuff. I've not read this, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I've got to go back and look at what the date is, but we've got Dirk coming back in April. So he was there supporting the Big Dog stuff a couple weeks ago. Well, he's going to come back and do a proper signing, proper Dirk motherfucking Manning signing, for Mr. Reed. So that should be cool, and by then I'll have it all read. I can't do a full review for you today because I'm not ready yet, but it looks great. The art's fantastic. I really like Dirk's writing. He writes some great horror stuff.
Cool. Very cool. My top is Fantastic Four number 2. Number 1 was my top pick when it came out. I was a little nervous about it because this is James Robinson and Leonard Kirk. James Robinson has been missing on a few things. The Justice League.
You never know which James Robinson you're getting.
Right. And we're getting good James Robinson at least so far on this. I really like the first issue a lot. I mean, this is he's really got the voice of the characters. That's really kind of always the heart of whether or not the Fantastic Four works.
It's a quick direction change, though. So it was kind of, if you want to start on Fantastic Four, you just jump in.
Yeah, you don't need to have read the Fraction stuff. If you have a basic idea of who the Fantastic Four are, they're new costumes, new direction. I've been kind of on a weird Fantastic Four kick lately. One with the launch of this book, plus there's been other things going on, the announcements about the movie.
Sure.
I've actually been rereading some of the old stuff, but I think so far after one issue, James Robinson really, really seems to have a good handle on this book and on these characters. Leonard Kirk's great artist. This is the one that out of all this stuff, the one that I can't wait to read the most. Because one, I love the Fantastic Four. We're getting a James Robinson that I haven't seen in years. I didn't read that Shade series. Earth 2 started off okay. And then it kind of took a long time to really click. But this
All New Invaders has been good too.
I'm not a big fan of the Invaders.
I like it.
But this, like I said, Fantastic Four is my wheelhouse. I've got every issue going back to like 1966.
Have you? Speaking of that whole Fantastic Four, and I know you love the Byrne stuff. Have you been reading She-Hulk?
No, I haven't.
Did you? Because at the end of She-Hulk, Kristoff shows up.
Oh, really?
He's got a case for She-Hulk. So at the end of the second issue, Kristoff's back.
Ah, nice.
That had me excited. I was like, oh my God!
Is he suing Doom?
I think he is something like that. Something's going on. He's trying to figure something. He needs a lawyer.
Cool.
So
very cool.
Yeah, not a lot of stuff this week, but a lot of good stuff.
Small week, but a good week.
So with that, that is your Week in Geek.